And we're live! Welcome along, everybody. If you're watching the recording, welcome to the recording. But if you're watching us live, we're live! Hello, for those that don't know me, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Gavin. I'm one of the presenters right here on Adorama TV. We are live in the back garden doing an on-location photo shoot, which I think will be the last one of the year because it's getting dark. Because we are in the UK and there's headphones. Are we all right? You're losing me already. We've barely started. Don't move. How many hours of testing have we done? And now it's suddenly playing out. Okay, I will stand still. How's that? Okay, good. Did I mention we're live? Because that's what happens when we're live. These things are definitely are sent to test us. But I'm not here on my own, and hopefully with a better microphone, we got the awesome Sam on the Super Switcher.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, distracted there by mic issues.
Is it still a bit crackly?
You seem all right. You've got to keep still.
Is it the sound of the gravel you can hear?
No, you were cutting in and out. So don't worry, everyone will keep us informed. Hey, everyone, how's everyone doing? We've got people from all over the place. We got Argentina, Egypt, Sweden.
Wow.
Mexico, South Africa, Belgium, Denmark, Lima, in Peru, Guernsey, Phoenix, Arizona, we know where that is.
Yeah, we do.
Pennsylvania, Italy, it's amazing.
Amazing places.
Yeah,
I might just go
absolutely.
grab my spare microphone.
Hope everyone's doing all right. We've actually had a heat wave in the UK. If you're not in the UK, then we'll let you know. It's actually been hot. We are praying for rain, which is unusual here. Yeah. we really want rain. We haven't got grass anymore. We've got very burnt out sort of story hay stuff. And it's been super, super hot. So very, very unusual for the UK. Gavin is just trying a different mic system. So bear with us just a second.
Might be a bit wobbly.
What, you're wobbly or the mic's wobbly?
Oh,
it's great. There's India, Manchester, very extreme. Poland, California. Oh, it's amazing to see where everyone's from. And Gavin's just re-clipping himself back together. And let's try the new mic.
See this bit, do they? Okay, here we go. Whoops. Big clip. Right, there we go. Try that now. Can you hear me now? Okay, we'll try that one. There we are. Emergency backup microphones. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So we are on a bit of a tight timeline tonight, so I could have done without that, but hopefully we're okay. We are going to crack on because we're going to be doing some on-camera and off-camera flash. That's the idea, on location. I'm going to be testing out different scenarios. I need your help, not only to help us with the audio, but to help us with the photos as well. So if you've got a suggestion, if there's something you'd like me to try, pop it in the comments. Sam is there. She will fire the best stuff and the relevant stuff back at me, and we'll try it. But as well as Sam, I've got Freya on the... Actually, you're doing the Super Switcher, Freya, aren't you? Awesome. Sam's doing questions and answers. And then Sophie. Come in, Sophie. We have amazing Sophie as our model. Now, you might notice there's a bit of a theme. Not with me, with Sophie. So we've got this sort of vintage kind of theme. What did we describe it as, Sam? There was a definite title for this.
We said land girl.
That was it?
Yeah.
Land girl. So, yeah, sort of 1940s-ish land girl kind of theme. And Sophie fits the bill beautifully. Well done, Sophie. That's really good. So we're going to start with on-camera flash. Do you want to go and stand over by our lovely gate over here? So on-camera flash. So that means I'm going to start with a speed light. Lots of different speed lights you could use. This one is a flashpoint one, but more importantly, it is a dedicated one, which means it has a lot of pins at the bottom. Just to give you an idea between the two, this is also a flashpoint one, but this is a manual one. Can you spot the difference in the pins? Okay, so manual, dedicated. Okay, so this is a dedicated one for, in my case, Olympus cameras, but you'd buy whatever flash is dedicated to your particular camera brand. That gives you a few advantages. And what I want to start with is just run and gun. Just take the photos, go for it. Everything is absolutely fine. As if we were perhaps doing an event rather than an actual photo shoot. So to make that happen, I'm actually going to go to P mode. Okay, so quick question. What does P mode stand for? It stands for something quite important. I wonder if anybody knows in the comments. I wonder if anybody agrees with me, because it can mean a few things. Okay, whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to be in TTL Flash, and that's pretty much it with P mode. You set the camera up, you kind of, well, run and gun. Okay, we've got to remember, we're a little bit ahead. Whilst we're doing that, I will just switch over my laptop.
Yeah, we've had some answers come through.
Go on in, shout them out as they come in.
Professional.
Professional, yes. That is one of the answers. It is professional mode.
Program mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot for program mode actually. Professional, program. Yeah, lots for, party mode. I like that. Yeah.
That's I hadn't thought of that. That's exactly the right, well, it's not exactly the right answer, but that's a really good one, because it is party mode. If you're in a party, stick it on P mode.
Portrait mode.
Not that one.
Aperture priority.
Okay, the answer is panic mode. It's panic mode. When it all goes horribly wrong, stick it into P, panic mode. It just gets you out of a hole. But it is also party mode. If you want to do run and gun stuff, this is exactly where you want to be. Okay, so the way it works, it kind of limits your shutter speed to a range. It limits it between 60th of a second shutter speed and your flash sync speed. Different cameras, different settings, but that's kind of the general gist of it. And then the camera will sort out the ISO if it's on auto ISO, and I'll just double check mine is, and it's not, so let's adjust that. And it'll set the shutter speed, and the flash will just effectively be a fill-in flash. Okay, Sophie, quick little test shot. Let's just see what we get. Get some photos on the screen. There we go. And I can just wander around. There's a lovely 1960s caravan behind Sophie, so I'm trying to avoid getting that in the shots. Just taking pictures. It's this simple, and you can basically just run and gun on camera flash. Let's see, and we come. So if you want to look straight at me, here we go. I'm going to go for a nice little close-up. Great. And that's it. That is P mode, panic mode. It works. It adds a nice little bit of fill. You can see the catch light dead center in the pupils, because it's on camera flash, showing that this has flashed. It has worked. Far away. Questions?
So we have a question from Patty. Is the flash on TTL or manual?
Hey Patty, really good question. Lovely to see you here. Can we go for a bigger version of this, Frey? There we go. I should have done that really. Which way up? Is that in focus? Yeah. Does that help for you, Patty? There you go. There's the settings. It's on TTL. It's on, notice the little A next to TTL. That means the flash zoom will adjust as I adjust my zoom. Of course it doesn't when you do it live, but that's the idea anyway. No, even though it's set to, yeah, brilliant. Here we go. Let's try that again. Ah, that would help. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. Take one more to make sure that works. It does. So that's P mode, panic mode. You just get photos. The other way of doing on-camera flash is not to be in P mode, but to be in M mode. M, I'm not going to ask you for M, it's manual mode. It's just manual, isn't it? That's what M is. Go for it.
Cafel Music asked, can you do exposure compensation on P mode?
Yes, you can. I can set that up. I can show you that. Good question. Yes, you can. You can override the exposure. Would we call that exposure compensation? Yeah, I guess we would. So I set this back to P mode. I put it to -2 stops. Here we go. And we should get, I mean, don't do that. But as an example, you can see how that worked. If I put it back to 0, just for the same, let's do the same one again, Sophie. Here we go. Okay, see how that worked? Okay, so -2, 0. So yes, you can. Good question, that one. It's been a long time since I've done that.
What mode is for nerves of steel?
Seth, Seth, for you, any mode. You are, I mean, just awesome. Seth can rock any mode, any camera, any flash, any time. It's just fantastic. Okay, so manual mode. Manual is the sort of the more difficult mode you might think, but it gives you, I think, a bit more control. So program mode, point and shoot. The camera will set itself up and you just get perfect pictures. Manual mode needs a little bit more control. With manual mode, you expose for the ambient light and the flash will always try and make the exposure correct on your subject. Okay, so it's a little bit like flash exposure compensation, but with a lot more control. Okay, here we go, Sophie. Same thing again. So if I dial in my sync speed, 250th a second, wide open, f2.8, and I let the flash do its own thing on TTL, that's okay. But if I dial in, let's try a lower ISO. Let's go to ISO 80, and then we can keep the aperture nice and wide. And in theory, I'd say that's a little bit darker, but hey, that's how it's supposed to be. It should just fill it in. I reckon that's slightly adrift. But that's the thing about on-camera flash and TTL. If you're not happy, I can use a bit of flash exposure compensation and just dial it up a little bit. Oh, too much. There we go. Yeah. So that kind of works. Manual gives you a bit more control. However, I'll be honest, I don't tend to do a lot of on-camera flash. It's not what I need in the studio. If I'm doing, or back in the day we used to do weddings, on-camera flash was just the thing all of the time, and it would be program mode, run around, get the job done. However, off-camera flash is the way we want to go for this particular moment. We'll come back to on-camera flash in a minute, and for that I need something, which, oh, I need a bag. And in my bag is a flash transmit. Oh, there it is. That's the joys of having a big bag, isn't it? Okay, flash transmitter. One of these. Unfortunately, my flash transmitter is still in pieces. I'm still waiting for a new one. It will eventually turn up, I'm sure. So it's still held together with good old duct tape. But that is the Flashpoint transmitter. It is brilliant. I mean, it's good, isn't it? It's held together with tape, and yet it works. That's the quality right there. Okay, so I can take the flash off and put that on, and I can switch over. We did some with the TTL. Let's do some with the manual flash just to mix it up a little bit. So this is the manual flash, as we can tell, with the single pin only. It'll just go flash if it was on the camera. But these two can talk to each other. I can have this as a remote flash. So if I dial in, make sure we're on the same channels in the same group, we are. So now, anything I do on my remote control on the camera will be mirrored on the flash itself. And if I take a picture of you guys, here we go. Oh, we'll put it in autofocus. I bet Frey won't put that one on the screen. Yeah, probably best. Probably best you don't. But anyway, I can have these now remotely. So basically, I can put this somewhere else, which means I can hold it so up here somewhere. Okay, Sophie, here we go. Let's just drop the power down. Air flash. Smash in. Whoa, that's really bright. Hold on. Let's take that down a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I got it. The joys of live photography. Occasionally you forget stuff. So I can move this around and I can get different lighting patterns. I can put it really, I could do it in the right place. I've taken a bad picture. I mean, I'm good. If you need bad pictures, I've got them. Whoa, look at that. Don't do that. Let's take another one quickly. Here we go. Okay. So this is just as quick. This works just as well. And you could do TTL if you prefer as well. This is just as fast as on-camera flash. You lose a hand to your speed light, but it really works quite well. This is a little bit more in control than on camera. Okay.
Just going to let you know, Brad said there's almost 500 people
hey,
watching.
Almost
yeah,
500.
Almost. There may be more now.
Thank you very much, everybody.
But not even 100 likes.
What?
So
Come
don't
on.
forget to like the video. That'd be great if you could do that, please, everybody. And thanks for everybody answering each other's questions when we haven't got round to them. That's brilliant.
Fantastic. That's what I love about the Adorama sort of family, where everybody, I look back at the comments after the live stream because I can't see them at the moment. And I can see people chatting amongst themselves. It's fantastic. I do enjoy these lives.
5:30.
What's that?
5:30.
5:30. I thought that was the time.
Oh no.
Right. Is it? Okay. So on-camera flash. We're going to go back to on-camera flash, but this time we're going to have a look at modifying the on-camera flash. And there's a few ways you can modify on-camera flash. So if you want to have a seat, have a is right there. There we are. That's what we're after. I should thank Claire for the potatoes as well, shouldn't we? Thank you, Claire, for the potatoes. Okay, so on-camera flash, but with a light modifier. There's lots of ways you can do this. Let's see what we've got in this bag. Okay. Have you got one of these? How many of you out there have one of these? I think it's trying to focus on Sophie's face. It's a Stoffen, or I think they used to be called a Stoffen. I paid good money for this quite a long time ago. And yeah, there we go. And what it does is it attaches onto your flash. There we go. It's a lovely tight fit. And your flash should be sort of upright and vertical like that. Okay, that's the idea with one of these. And the idea is, oh, the other thing to do with it, I nearly forgot. There we go. Pull out the little Fresnel diffuser. It's not a Fresnel diffuser, is it? It's just a diffuser. Okay, and then that will spread the light out. It should spread out inside of the little dome and then go in all directions around, bounce off the ceiling, bounce off the walls, bounce off the floor if you're doing it that way round, and give softer light. It's no use outside. If you see photographers using these outside, you can have a little snigger to yourself. Just quietly, don't embarrass them. You see it a lot. I see it a lot on the news. It softens the light in as much as it turns it down, which could be useful, but it doesn't do what it's designed to do outside. No point doing it here. The nearest thing above me is about 5,000 feet. It's quite low cloud today. So don't use that outside. Use it indoors. It works really well. Unless you're in a lovely old room with nice mahogany ceilings and walls, and then everything goes orange. So instead of using that, what else have I got in my little bag here? I've got, oh, these. These are great. I love this. Anybody have one of those, Sam? Did we get anybody?
Yeah, there was a few people that said they've got one of those or two of those, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, in the right situation, they are brilliant. Just one of those things that makes me smile. This. Now, there is a reason I've started the live with this on. This is a mag mod, and this is the magnetic thing that attaches to the front. Honestly, I don't think we would, it is live and we'd have to bleep this out. And I'm not one for bad language, but blimey, these things. Absolutely, yeah, hard work to get those on. They're very firm, so when it's on, it tends to stay on, but it is magnetic. Okay, so it allows you to put things like that on the front, which are brilliant. Look at that. Doesn't that make you look more professional? Let's see if it does anything. Let's see if it does anything at all. Let's reset my camera because I managed to pull the USB out. Okay, here we go.
There's a lot of love for the mag mod.
Mag mod?
Yeah.
Brilliant,
Steve
aren't they?
Said great products. Cool of the world photography. I love the mag mod gear. Works great. And Mark said, I thought I spotted a mag mod bracket. Really good.
There we go. Let's see if it looks any better on you guys. It's less worse, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. You can share that one again. There you go.
There they are. See? Okay, it's less worse. So what this is designed to do is used in this way. It's designed for pushing light forward, for making the surface of your flash a larger surface, and therefore, in theory, a softer light. That's kind of the idea. Let's see if it does anything at all. Let's try first of all straight on, so we've got a comparison. Okay, let's see where we are here. So I'm in manual flash, so I'm going to work this out manually because that's going to be way too bright. Don't show that one. Okay, that's, oh, the zoom's set wrong as well. Don't show that one either. I'll let you know when there's one you can see.
That one looks really nice.
Yeah,
On camera flash, they can see that one. On camera flash, that is at 1/32 power. Okay, I'm going to take the same shot at the same power just to show you how much power these things take away. Here we go, Sophie. Okay, and at 1/32 power, yeah, I'm going to try quarter power. Okay. It's probably a little bit, well, I'm judging on a bad screen. It's probably not far off, actually. I've got Sophie's best side. Shadow-wise, there's definitely a shadow there. It's not the harshest shadow, but it's not the softest shadow. It's kind of semi-soft. But the nice thing about these is you can actually turn your camera around. So you can go for a nice side lighting. And now you'll really see the shadow coming in. But let's face it, if anybody's looking at this and thinking, wow, you sold me on that product, this isn't what it's designed. Again, it's a run and gun kind of product. So how can we make on-camera flash look better? Well, we have to step it up a little bit. And we have to step it up with this. Ta-da! How's that? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, that's good. So this is a reflector, white on one side, silver on the other. It's a Manfrotto Halo Compact Plus. I'm just going to grab it before the breeze takes it away. Halo Compact Plus. So it's about 1 meter or so in diameter, so just over 3 feet in diameter, give or take. I'm going to hang my light meter up. When I forget where it is, it's here. Okay. Please remind me, because I will forget very soon. Okay, so the Halo Compact, I'm going to use the silver side, and I'm going to bounce light in to Sophie that way around. Now, in an ideal world, you'd have an assistant to do this. It makes life so much easier. I've got 2 assistants. They're kind of tied up at the moment.
We're busy, I'm afraid.
Honestly, it's not easy, this, is it? Honestly. So I'm going to pop this around about here, and I'm going to literally just bounce light into it. There's nothing more complicated than that. So I'm going to get my light. This flash, like most flashes, will rotate around. I'll leave the mag mod thing on the front because this is the one where it lives on, basically. So I can rotate that around and point that at the silver reflector, the Halo Compact Plus, and bounce some light off of that. So let's do a shot without any flash first of all. Let's just get a reference picture, see what we're getting. Here we go, Sophie, little reference shot with the 1960s Caravan in the back. Just for the complete thing, I probably should come around a little bit. Here we go. There we go, just missed the Caravan. Okay, so that's the sort of the ambient only, and it's not bad. We are, what time is it? Nearly 7:30 here in the UK. The sun sets in about 45 minutes, give or take, about an hour. So we're at the end of the day and it's overcast. So pretty soft lighting. Okay, so let's compare that with flash. How much power? I could TTL this. I'm going to manual it because I prefer manual mode. I'm going to guess a quarter. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Here we go. So let's find out. So I'm pointing my speed light towards the reflector. Here we go, Sophie. Okay, so I'm in aperture priority. I'm going to switch back to manual. Hold on. That's better. Okay, quick little test shot. So that's a quarter power at, well, let me show you my settings because people always like to see the settings and I always forget to show them. This is my current, oh no, that's There we go. Oh, this is where it gets really hard to do backwards. Up a bit. How's that? Okay, that's my current settings.
So there's been a couple of suggestions that Sophie should have a mic.
Oh, there. She has
Yeah.
She does have a microphone if you have a question.
We do have a roving mic if anyone has a question for us. But it's just for witty comebacks to you, Gav.
Oh.
That was a suggestion.
Do witty comeback. She's a professional. She waits until the cameras have stopped rolling and then...
She actually looks like she's going to throw some potatoes at you, so be careful.
Okay, here we go. Whoop. That's weird. Oh, what did I change? I've changed something. Something changed. No, apparently not. Here we go. Yeah, something's definitely changed. I do love lives for random things happening that you just can't quite get your finger on. Is it the light level dropping? What's going on here? What's going on? Just going to check my exposure, Sophie. Hang on 1 second. So I'm just going to check my non-flash exposure. The light level is changing. I don't think it's that. I think it's me, but I'm going to blame the light level because that's what we can do. That's how it works. That's no flash, yeah. Thanks, Sam. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a slight underexposure. There we are. That's what we're after. And then I'm going to fill that in with flash. Here we go. Too much. That's just a little hint of flash. I'm trying to be mindful of where the reflector is because I know if I miss the reflector with the flash, I'm going to miss the shot. I can hear the chickens. That's not a sound effect if you can hear them, but...
I can't actually hear them.
No, it's probably not going to be picked up on the microphone, but some noisy chickens. So that works quite nicely. We can bounce light off with the reflector. Pop it over there. There we go. That works really nicely. Gonna pop it a little brighter. Here we go, just to see how it goes. Okay, cool. So that's a nice little system. It works very well, bouncing the light off of a reflector. It's much easier if you have an assistant who's kind of tracking your flash and your camera, because as I moved around, so the flash might miss the center of the reflector and I might get more flash or less flash. An assistant makes that job a lot easier. But we get the idea, that works quite well. On-camera flash, but giving you off-camera results. So let's move to off-camera, because if you're going to go to this trouble, you might as well set up an off-camera flash. You might as well. Why go to that trouble and then you got a light stand? Let's get a flash. Let's do it. If you're just joining us, because we are 30 minutes in, if you're just joining us, welcome along. If you have any questions, do stick them in the comments.
So a couple of people have said that your exposure compensation was at -3.
Yes. Okay. Now, I'm in manual flash. That's a really good question. Okay, so I'm in. If it's the one on the back of the camera, and here we go. If you're looking at this one, where do I have to be? Up a bit. Oh, okay. And you're looking at this one. That's actually telling me the ambient exposure. Okay, so that is, just double checking, that is the ambient exposure. The camera is saying, oh, you're underexposing the ambient by a certain amount. Okay, not flash, that's different. My flash, if I bring it down, there it is. My flash is a manual flash, so you don't get flash exposure compensation. Good question though, really good question that. It's an easy one to get tripped on. Right, flash. Ooh.
So there was another. Oh. That was close. There was another question. Let me try and find it. About this is one I can answer though. So Jay asked, where do you usually go to find wardrobe, props, etc. for period shoots? So actually, the outfit, the main part of it, the green body of that is Amazon. But I often get things from charity shops or car boot sales. I don't know if that's a term that goes worldwide, but it's normally where people get rid of lots of the things they don't want anymore out of the back of their car in a big field. But also, Facebook Marketplace is a really good place.
Which is where we got one of the props we're going to finish with.
Yeah.
Over there. Last night. Okay, flash. Okay, so because we're going to do off-camera flash, there's a world of things we could use. We could use a little speed light. Because I've got one, I might as well step it up a little bit. This is the Flashpoint Explore 400 Pro. It's got Pro in it. Come on. That's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? Now, really important tip. What do I always forget when I do these lives? There's one thing I forget every single time. I'm not going to forget today. Here we go. Look, I'm going to turn it on before we start. I know. Oh, what are we, 8 months in? I finally remembered. So there it is. There is the flash. I could do TTL flash. This does do TTL flash. I'm not a TTL fan. Nothing personal. It's just what you're used to. So I won't be in TTL. I will be in manual mode for this because that's what I work in. Let's bring it over here. And if you're thinking I'm making a lot of noise, huffing and puffing, that's because there's a sandbag at the bottom. There's a slight breeze today, and even a slight breeze is enough to take this over and go crash, and then, well, it all ends rather sadly, doesn't it, after that? So, yeah. Okay, so where are we going to put it? Let's put it in the wrong place, or safe place, and then we'll move it around. Okay, we're going to try and put the light so it's 2/3 above. Otherwise, you have light coming up from underneath, which isn't quite what we're after. Something like that. There we go. I'm going to grab my camera. I could do trial and error, or I could use my flash meter, which I put over here. See? I didn't forget. Not this time. Okay, so we are. We can lose the. I did forget to change the flash for a transmitter. That's better. As well. I mean, my Olympus camera is or OM system camera nowadays, is a pretty lightweight camera, but yeah, you take the on-camera flash off. Oh, that's so much better. So what am I going to be shooting at? I actually don't know. I should work that out first. Let's do this first. No flash first. Let's try and find a nice, interesting location down here. And I probably want to be stop under the ambient. Let's have a little look. Okay. For some bizarre reason, I can't get it. Oh, there we go. Ah, pulled the tether cable out. 1 second. Fast and furious with the cables. And I'll wait for it to reconnect. There we go. We're back in the play. Okay, so I'm at f3.2, 250th of a second, ISO 200. That's what I need my flash to tell me. 3.2, 250th, ISO 200. And it is, here we go, f5, f3.6. It's still f3.6, 3.2. Okay, how is that? There we go. Okay, so my flash meter matches my camera settings. So in theory, and it is only a theory, the camera and the flash should give me the same exposure, or at least a correct exposure. However, that's a guide. You don't have to stick to it. It's a guide. Okay. Lovely, here we go. But you can be the judge of that. Does that look about the right exposure? And I can tell you now, you ask 4 photographers, you will get 4 answers. And I suspect we've got more than 4.
Over 600.
Over 600 people watching us. Wow. No pressure, Sophie. They're not watching for me. Okay, that's nice. I'm just backing up a little bit as I back up. And this is the great thing about off-camera flash, is I can move myself around and I don't have to worry about the exposure changing, which we're going to talk about in the last part in a little bit.
You take a question?
Yeah, sorry, I can't see. I couldn't see if you were waving the card.
I'm not waving a card.
Nice view of the back of me.
To throw things at you next.
Okay, so I'm going to keep going.
So, Twinnis asked, what is the size of the light box?
Okay.
And is that the preferred size?
Okay. Frey, can we go for a close-up? Can you, in your PT camera, oh, look at this. Oh. So, this is my new softbox. I have a favourite softbox, like everybody you have favourites, don't you? My favourite flashpoint or glow softbox was the Octabox 70 centimetre, which is, they've discontinued it. Come on. I haven't got a replacement yet. I'm sure Flashpoint are on the case, and I'm sure we'll get one eventually. But for now, this is my current replacement, which is a rectangular one, because I haven't had a rectangular one for a while. I thought I'd switch back. It's 2 feet by 3 feet, or if you're in modern settings like we are, I guess, 60 by 90 centimetres. We did an unboxing on my Instagram over the weekend, and somebody pointed out that it actually says 60 by 90 on the side. I didn't get that, so I should have passed that off as my own, but I'm too honest. So I can move that around as well. As long as it stays roughly the same distance to Sophie, I can put it over here. Let's try and get the legs out of the way. And the exposure should be basically the same. No need for TTL, just don't change the distance. And this is going to give very much different lighting. Let's just wait for that to pop onto the screen. There you go. So now we have lighting coming in more from the behind. As in front, I suppose the front. No, that doesn't work, does it? Okay. And I quite like this. I like this sort of shooting into the light. I do quite a lot of this sort of work in the studio, and it's nice to be able to do it outside as well, because we can just have a little bit of the ambient, giving us a fill, effectively, fill light on the non-lit side. Oh, and that's what I love about working with Sophie. I haven't told her a thing yet. She's just going for it. Fantastic. Okay, that works really nicely. How are we doing for time? Because we have a deadline to hit. I'm well aware of the time. We have 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Okay, right. Well, I think it's time to get on your bike, Sophie. That's well, actually, before we do that, there's a shot I want to get. Never mind that we're live. Don't worry about that. Hang on. Just pop that there. Can you still hear me here? Does it still work? Yeah.
It's a little clicky.
Interesting. The range is really short. That's better. Okay, hear me now? Yeah. Okay. I won't wander off. That's fine. So I would like the bag of potatoes and a spade. Okie dokie.
It's a strange recipe that you need a spade with your bag of potatoes.
Well, where do you think the bag of potatoes comes from? They don't grow on trees.
Claire's allotment.
Okay, because Sophie is now standing up, I need to elevate the light. If I'd have left it where it was, if I'd have left the light at the same height, then most of the light would have been below the centre of Sophie, so light would have come up from underneath, and that doesn't work. So you want that light to be at least halfway up or more to get a more natural light. Okay, something like that. Anyone seen a camera? Oh, follow the orange cable and you will find your camera. Okay, so this is going to be a vertical picture, and I want to go wide open f1.2. Actually, you know what? Let's switch this out. Let's do it. I'm taking my camera apart. Whoops, live. I'm switching lenses. Okay, I've gone for my 45mm, which has a larger aperture. Let's go f1.6. Let's see what we get. Okay, f1.6 is actually giving me bright exposure, because the light level has really dropped. So I'm going to do a no flash picture. Here we go, Sophie. No flash picture should give me this. That's not too bad. And then we'll add a little bit of flash into this as well. Let's turn that on. I'm still at my flash sync speed, 250th of a second, f1.6. ISO now 80. I'm getting about a stop underexposed. But it's important because I don't have to do high speed sync. So if I wanted to, I could use my flash meter to get the correct exposure, or I could just take a couple of shots and go, that one's too bright, that one's about right. I get the feeling we were shooting 16:9 last time around. Let's go 4:3, there we go. That's going to look just a bit wider. Yeah, there we go. And that's giving me the shallow depth of field I'm looking for. Sophie, can you put the shovel on your shoulder? Oh, come on, Sophie, there we go. Here she goes. Lovely. Fantastic. I'm going to give Sophie a shout out for the makeup as well. She is an excellent makeup artist. Not actually, Hollywood makeup artist. Various films. Should we mention the films you've done?
No.
Her own worst self-promotion as well. It's all NDA, she's not allowed to talk about it. Okay, a couple more and then we'll literally get you on your bike. Okay. Great stuff. Last one. Boom, there we go. Cool. Fantastic. So that works really nicely. Love that. That's really, really good. Okay, off camera. Very nice. We're going to do one more on camera, off camera flash, and then we're going to finish. We've got 8 minutes to go. Let's, yeah, pop those there. Yeah, that's. If you'd like to take your bike and pop it down, off she goes. Oh.
There we go.
Smashing. So, we're going to switch out lenses. I've got this lens. Oh, there we are. Thank you very much. This lens is a 40 to 150 millimeter on a micro 4/3, becomes an 80 to 300 millimeter equivalent on a full frame. As far as reach goes, it's more complicated than that. If you want to find out more, go see David Bergman's excellent video about sensor size and how that affects lenses. Really good. Okay, so long lens. You all right, Sophie?
Someone says, as Andrew said, brilliant, same as my shovel with concrete on it. I'm going to blame Steve the builder for that.
Steve the builder, yeah, it's not his shovel, but...
No, it probably wasn't his concrete either, but, you know, he's not here to defend himself.
No. Okay, so on camera flash, can the flash go that far? That's the question everybody wants to know. Will it make it that far? Short answer is, in theory, I guess it would go to the end of the world, but you know, the edge of space, but you won't see much of it because
David says thank you for the promo.
That was a good video, David, if you're watching. Okay, so let's cut to the chase. We've got only a few minutes. Full power. Let's just go with that. Full power, ISO 200, native ISO for my camera, wide open f2.8. And what's my settings? I'm going to have to drop my shutter speed down a little bit, I think. Here we go. Right. And the answer is yes, look at that. Sophie has been lit by the flash. What does it look like without the flash? Here we go. Just to prove the point, it worked. However, it did work, but would you want that? I mean, if it's that or nothing, and you're doing a wedding and it's pitch black, you know, that's better than nothing at all. We can do better than that. So if you're using long lenses, yes, your flash can reach. And if it doesn't reach, there's another little thing we could do, and that is the little zoom on the back here, which we could zoom all the way in. In my case, 200 millimeters, not quite 300, but there we go. That will help the flash just go a little bit further by making sure that you only use the light you actually need to cover the lens you're using. Okay, so that makes it a tiny bit brighter. Oh dear. Don't do that. You can do that, don't do that. Because if you could just set up a flash, off-camera flash. Which way? That way? I will put the flash this side. Yeah, no, that's fine. Go with that. That's great. Okay. Okay, you have 5 minutes, less than that. If you have any questions, you have 5 minutes. We have to get off the channel. We know something big's coming. We don't know what it is. On camera flash, switched to off camera flash. Same lens, now just a remote transmitter. And, well, let's just see what we get. Here we go. I'm going to go vertical. I'm going to say wide open f2.8. 1 second, Sophie. I'm just going to change a few things. The light level is dropping so quick. I need to adjust my shutter speed to compensate. Whoops, flash is going. I'm just going to adjust my flash, my shutter speed to compensate. I reckon maybe 160th of a second. f2.8, ISO 200 should give me a slightly underexposed picture. Let's fill it in with flash. Again, I could use, are you right, Sophie? With a spider.
No,
We'd know if it was. She would literally be on her bike.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can go for the full. This is a good look, isn't it? Oh, I can't get far enough away. So this is only, this isn't, barely 100 millimeters, so a 200 mil lens equivalent. But the transmitter on this will fire that far, no problems whatsoever. I can remote control it, so I can adjust it from here.
You want to take a couple of questions?
Yeah, far away.
So Colin said, do you think remote flash or on-camera flash as the remote trigger is worth using?
On-camera flash as a remote trigger. If you have one and you don't have a remote trigger, then that's fine. And in some cases, that could work out a really good idea because then you get 2 flashes. However, you can't beat an actual transmitter. The Flashpoint one, oh look, hang on.
As our cat?
Jake the cat going by. You can't beat an actual transmitter. This is the Flashpoint one, it's really good. ProPhoto have just bought one out, which is really good. I made a video about your first flash, and in that I recommended not necessarily choosing the flashes, but choosing the transmitter, because that's the bit you actually interact with the most. Choose the transmitter. The flashes are all good, but choose one of these that fits your lifestyle. And the reason I love the Flashpoint one is because I'm getting old and that is really easy to see. Okay, any other questions?
Yep. Jay asks, what is your go-to focal length for portraits?
Okay, go-to focal length for portraits on an Olympus camera is this one, which is the 12 to 40 millimeter f2.8, usually around about 40 millimeters. That's the equivalent of a 24 to 80 millimeter on a full frame. Links are in the video description. Good question. Okay, and that is our time up. Wow, that was...
Yeah, I'm sorry to everyone we didn't get to your questions, but we're on a tight time today. But thank you to everybody who answered everyone else's questions and shared advice. That is brilliant, and this community is amazing. So thank you very much for joining us.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. This, I think, is our last outside one, but we'll be back in 4 weeks' time with an indoor, maybe outdoor, depending on the weather, but another live stream. We don't know what yet. We'll find out. 1 week from today, Daniel Norton will be doing a live stream. I've seen his thumbnail. It looks super exciting. I'm really jealous. So that's going to be a fun one. And if you're around and you want to do something in the next hour, then Freya, woohoo, will be on Twitch, on Adorama XP, live streaming from, well, 1 hour and 10 minutes time. She will be up there doing her thing on Twitch, so go check her out on that. So I'd like to thank Freya and Sam. Did an awesome job on the Super Switcher and the questions. Thank you very much indeed. I'd like to thank Sophie for just being amazing. Looks good, great modeling, makes my job. I'd like to thank you guys for being here, Adorama for letting us do this, and we'll see you all again in 4 weeks' time. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.